Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Washington is a premier youth development, youth-serving organization. We have a vision for a great future for all of our young people, and we want them, through having a world-class club experience, we want them to leave our doors with a plan for their future, knowing that they can achieve success. And that success could be whether they have a college education, whether it's vocational, the military, work, whatever it might be. We want them to know that there are expectations for them and that they have the tools for their own success. We see about 2,000 kids a day throughout our 16 clubs and sites throughout the Greater Washington region. And what actually happens is it's a nice balance. There's about 56% male, 44% female, and we are serving kids from age 5 years old right up through high school. We have 5 core areas, and the acronym is CHASE. So we have character and leadership, health and life skills, the arts, sports, recreation and fitness, and education and career development. And within that group of programs, we have a suite of evidence-based programs that have been vetted by our national organization, the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. And it'll be everything from our signature program, which is Power Hour, and that's homework help and mentoring, all the way through programs that we run called the SMART suite of programs, which really give kids ideas about healthy lifestyles. And we have, of course, our sports leagues, fitness, computer programming through game tech, video programming, and then there's something called our SHINE program, which really talks about prevention of just unhealthy habits, prevention of teen pregnancy, and we want kids to leave us obviously not having exposure to the juvenile justice system and having made some good and healthy choices. We are a regional organization serving the Greater Washington area, which becomes more and more important because research now, very recent research, is showing how poverty is reaching out across our region into areas that before you just wouldn't have assumed you were going to find poor kids in need of the kinds of services that we provide. Every child is at risk. Well, we try to serve, in our mission it says we serve the kids who need us most. And essentially we're providing exposure to things that some kids are not going to have, either because of where they go to school. If you think about it, the curricula that are being offered in various school systems, just based on budget, if nothing else, they're not getting the same exposure to the sciences that they should have, the arts, even physical education. And so when you're in an area where you're seeing health and obesity issues in particular are very significant in Washington, D.C., teen pregnancy is higher, these kinds of things, out-of-school time programming has to help combat. We have to be the solution alongside the public and charter schools, alongside other nonprofits, and that's really what we're trying to do. That's the need that we're meeting every day. Additionally, some of our kids are not going to have had exposure to the idea of going to college, for instance. The kinds of things that are possible. We're trying to make them aware of possibilities. We do, for instance, an annual college tour where we've taken kids not just to local colleges, which is perfectly fine. We're here at Howard, perfectly fine, but also to New York, to New Jersey, to the South, just to see what's out there. And of course, for some of our youth, this will have been the first time outside of their home neighborhood. One of the things that we have learned over the years is kids come to our clubs because of the relationships that they have with adults, caring adults. We do great programming, but one of the first things you'll hear is, oh, I come here to see Mr. Jim, or I come here to be with Miss Teresa. And it is that caring, trusting relationship that's really important and keeps kids coming back. We like to say that young people vote with their feet. We don't have a lock-in policy, so if we're not doing the things that are interesting to them, then they don't come back. And we want the child who says to their parent, when their parent or their guardian picks them up, we want to stay, we want to be here. And as you mentioned, after school time is very important because it is a dangerous time for young people, particularly with so many latchkey kids who don't have anybody at home. And as the after school programs have decreased over the years, it becomes important to fill that time with positive influences. And so that's why we are committed. I think that the other change for the Boys and Girls Clubs, people will have known of us all the time for our sports programming. And we still do sports programming, absolutely. But our philosophy is sports and one. So if you come to us to play football, we want you to also play academic sports. We want you to enroll yourself in one of our other programs for academic success. And of course, the funding community and all the donors out there, whether they're major corporations or individuals on the block, they want to know that kids have a chance for success, because that strengthens the community, it strengthens the country. In particular, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which everybody is talking about now. In the Washington, D.C. area, we have twice as many STEM jobs that are developing here as other communities in the country. So again, if science curricula are decreasing, if courses and offerings are decreasing in the public schools, we want to try to find a way to give kids some exposure to those disciplines, to that study matter. And the way you do it is to demystify it, to make it fun. This summer we had a science camp at one of our branches, the FBR branch at the ARC. It was phenomenal. It was presented by AAAS, talking about science, and we do it with music. We do it with rap. We do it with the arts, and that's an engaging way. And it's also, you know, it can be a little mystifying for the instructors. Remember, we're not hiring teachers necessarily. We're hiring youth development professionals, but they're not science teachers. And so that's a big part of what we're trying to do. Present these opportunities that will allow kids to succeed in the future. Help your community, help your family, help your country.